This is what we have at the moment. Let's get more reaction to Kim Jong Il's death. We're joined by former U.S. Ambassador to South Korea, Gregg. Gregg, thanks very much indeed for joining us. Well, what's your reaction to all this? It was, on the one hand, well, not unexpected, I could say.
No, not unexpected, but probably quite a lot sooner than the North Koreans would have wanted, as next year is a very big year for them, the 100th anniversary of Kim Il-sung's birth, and the year where they want to project themselves as a modern, prosperous nation. So I think they would have much preferred to have had Kim Jong Il around to do that. But I think they're going to put Kim Jong Un forward as the fully prepared successor, and I think it is in our interest to accept that. And I think that the reactions that the North Koreans hear from the United States, South Korea, Tokyo and Beijing will be very, very heavy, very, very important. And I hear some people saying, "Oh, this is a time of great tension and so forth." I think if it's tension, it's tension that we bring about. I don't think the North Koreans want this to be a time of tension. I think they want this to be a time of smooth transition, and I think they will very much welcome civilized response from the other members of the six-party talks.
Well, given that it just took them 2 days, and that's not a long time when it comes to North Korean affairs, in announcing the death of Kim Jong Il, does that tell us that pretty much the succession is well-placed, well-entrenched, and going smoothly? Yes,
I think that's a very good comment. And I think that we also ought to remember that Kim Jong Un was educated at part in Switzerland, that he speaks some English, and that he knows a great deal more about the West than either his father or his grandfather did, and that may well be a positive possibility. I also am very pleased that just a few days ago in Beijing, U.S. representatives met with North Korean representatives to discuss modalities for resumption of American economic aid to North Korea, and there was some talk that the North Koreans might modify or change or curtail some of their nuclear programs in response for that. So I think that was a very positive step forward, and that's something that we ought to emphasize and build on.
All right, well, what about the heir apparent here as well? Because not much is known about him, but you alluded to him having been partly educated in Switzerland, speaking some English, knowing something about the West. Now, does he bring any of that to bear in trying to modernize the North, or is it something which is out of his hands?
Well, we don't know. I made a suggestion when he first emerged to that the United States invite him as sort of for an observation tour in the United States. I thought this would be a good way of having him get a look at what we're like, and also having us get a look at what he was like. And that was not acted upon, as the Democrats thought that the Republicans would mock them for doing that. I think it's too bad we didn't. But from what I have heard, he was open and kind of an interesting young kid when he was in Switzerland, and maybe that's all gone, or maybe it isn't. But I think at this point, up to this point, he's had no real opportunity to show any real marked difference from his father, although I've tried to pick up things that he said, and I was interested at one point where he said, "I think we have more than enough bullets in North Korea. I think we need to emphasize other things." So I'm rather hopeful that as he gets in place and establishes himself, that there may be some other opportunities for improving our dialogue.
He is young, though, isn't he? And I guess he has to continue from where his father left off, at least for the time being, though.
Yeah, I mean, he's at 30 years old at the most, and there is tremendous adulation to the father and the grandfather. I think a great deal of next year will be spent paying great homage to Kim Il-sung, and so I think this will be a very heavy ceremonial entrance onto the world stage for this young man, and that's not all bad, because it's not a coronation, but he will be there to say the things that need to be said as far as the North Koreans are concerned about his grandfather and his father, and just by the fact that he says them, that will give him a legitimacy with the North Koreans that nothing else could do.
Let's talk about the South now, of course, where you were ambassador, U.S. ambassador there, Donald. Just with that in mind, you know, how are they going to be looking at this? Because it is a situation, or it is a case of better the devil you know. I guess it is still a continuation of knowing that devil, but not quite.
Well, there's that. I think that some of the South Korean industries are quite interested in North Korea as a source of low-cost, high-quality labor. I think they have quite a positive attitude toward bettering relationships with North Korea as a way of strengthening their own economy. Also, politics in South Korea are quite tumultuous at this point, and Lee Myung-bak, who has taken a very hard line toward North Korea, is not tremendously popular at this point, and there's quite a good chance that whoever is elected late next fall to be South Korea's next president may want to take a softer line toward North Korea. So I think all of that will play out in the upcoming election campaign, and I think North Korea will be watching that very carefully.
Reunification, though, is no nearer, I'm assuming.
I'm a great devotee of the late Kim Dae-jung, and he said it's going to be a question not of quick reunification, but sort of a normalization, and he said, I think it's best if it takes about 30 years, and I don't want to second guess Kim Dae-jung.
Thank you so much for your time there, Ambassador.